Hello and welcome to Royale TV with Cheese. This is Awesome Elmo and we're going to watch some high ranked matches of Clash Royale. And I'm going to commentate and give you some strategy tips perhaps along the way. So the first match we're watching tonight, I can't pronounce this person's name, sorry, but I'm going to call this person Blue. They're from Clan In the Light versus BlueSky from HK Esports. HK Esports have a lot of players in the top ranked players. Probably the clan that I recognize have seen the most in these top games. So Blue tonight, he's playing the Golem strategy, which is to use Golem here with the Elixir. Generally, what I expect to see is he'll probably, if he can, place Golem down straight away just to apply some pressure. Then he'll start building up Elixir collectors, which will accelerate his Elixir towards trying to get, generally you want to try and get 2 Golems in the last minute of the match. The first Golem will apply a lot of pressure, which the opponent has to defend, and then hopefully when they're drained of their resources, then that's when you drop your second Golem to go for the kill. That's generally the strategy. Using this mirror here, probably just to help cycle through things, because he's got the arrows and the goblins, and he can use the mirror then to get another cheap card out. You really need it. In this strategy, to me, it looks like he's going for the quick cycle. He's also using the princess here to help get a little bit of extra last minute damage on the tower. BlueSky, on the other hand, he's using the 2 prince combo, which is the dark prince and the regular prince. The regular prince does a very high damage, but only to 1 unit. The dark prince does not so much damage, but he can attack many units at once. So when you put them together, they're really hard to counter, because if you put down, say, this skeleton army, then this dark prince will just tear through that. If you try to stop them with something large, then the regular prince can take that down. So this is a pretty strong combo. It's pretty popular at the moment. The rest of his deck is basically just some defensive units, such as the Inferno Tower here, the skeletons and the goblins, just to stop attacks, slow down attacks, so that while the towers take down enemy units. That Inferno Tower is going to be really strong against this Golem, because the Golem walks pretty slow. So if Blue plays the Golem, then that Inferno Tower can start taking him down as he slowly walks over to attack the Inferno Tower. So that's probably the biggest threat to Blue here. On the other hand, there's nothing particularly about Blue's deck that counters this 2 prince strategy. He just has to try and hopefully get enough Elixir. He might start at the start of the game mirroring Elixir just to build it up, because he really needs that Elixir advantage if he's going to defeat this strategy. So I think BlueSky has a slightly stronger chance here, but we'll see what happens. Alright, volume there. Okay, so you can see Blue doesn't have his Golem, so he's going to probably just start throwing out maybe these goblins here to cycle through some cards. Dragon coming out from both sides. Princess, just a bit of extra damage. Princess is not very strong against Dragon, but that's okay. Those goblins coming in. Here comes the Dark Knight. He's going to be pretty strong here. Oh, Blue's used the skeletons against the Dark Knight. I think what worked for him there was he dropped it down when the Dark Knight was nearly dead, so they could just take him straight out. Plus, dropping them straight onto the Dark Knight means that I believe his attacks only work in one direction. So if you can get him surrounded, then you're in a really good position. You can see Blue's Elixir is building up. as that golem's walking out. So that works really well for building a death ball. Prince though is pretty strong against golem, and here comes that Inferno Tower I was talking about, which is going to just destroy that golem, and even the golemites he's got a pretty good chance at. But BlueSky has to think about how he's going to make a counter, because he's just getting a little bit overwhelmed here at the moment. But here comes this 2 Prince combo. Maybe he's thinking about bringing that out soon, if he can build up a little bit more elixir. In the light, he's building up his golem, and he's actually banking some elixir into this elixir collector. So he wants to start building up towards that last minute rush. He may even go for the mirror on the second one if BlueSky doesn't play anything soon. But there's the Prince and the 2 Prince combo. So he brings out a defensive golem and the Princess to try and put some damage into those guys, but a bit slow. The golem goes down. Hopefully though, you can see Blue's getting a huge elixir advantage here. This means that with a double elixir and this extra elixir coming in here, golem could come out pretty soon. Dragon going out to try and get a bit more damage on that tower. Here comes the golem, aggressively placed. There's the Inferno Tower to try and counter it. Still though, BlueSky still not really getting any closer to dealing damage to the enemy's tower. But here comes a big rush. This is going to be hard to defend because Blue has no elixir virtually, and just dropping in some skeletons, but they're getting torn to shreds by those dragons and that Dark Knight. Here comes the Prince. That's going to do a whack of damage to that tower. The tower is possibly going to go down, and that's the game. And BlueSky wins 1-0. That Inferno Tower is probably the strongest counter to Golem in the game. Alright, next round. We have BOsshOgg from Legendary Rivals, ranked 72, versus Crucial from Yadan, ranked number 40. So, I really like to see this card being used. It's the 3 Musketeers. Now, I'm going to bring that up just to show it to you. What's really interesting about the 3 Musketeers is it's 10 elixir to bring out, which is a massive amount. If you're familiar with the game, 10 elixir is the most elixir you can collect. So once you bring out this card, you pretty much have nothing left. There's no going back. You just have to wait for your elixir to build up again. 3 Musketeers can tear shreds through things, but it does have one crucial weakness, which is the fireball. Although since BOsshOgg doesn't have this fireball, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Also, Crucial's using the poison, which can do a lot of damage over time to an area. I expect what he's probably going to try to do is use the poison to clear the path. So if you imagine this is the pitch, and there's an enemy tower here. If Crucial's down on this side, although it'll be reversed in this case because Crucial is on the red team. You can put the poison just on the other side of the river, just as say your P.E.K.K.A. or your Musketeers are coming through, or even your Hog Rider, and then a lot of the usual counters, such as the skeletons, will just get burnt up by this poison. So it actually creates a dangerous zone for countering those big units. On the other side, we've got BOsshOgg, who's going for a beatdown deck. He's got the Hog Rider, the Barbarians, and the mini P.E.K.K.A. He's got the Bomber here. So some of these work quite well. Bomber works quite well in offense as well as defense. Although against this deck, the Bombers doesn't really have any great targets. If it could get close enough to those Musketeers, it could potentially do some damage, but otherwise I don't really see that as a threat. I'd like to say that Crucial has a slightly stronger chance here, but that being said, the 3 Musketeers is incredibly risky, but hopefully less risky against a deck with no fireball. So let's see how we go. Okay, both players giving the thumbs up, building up their elixir. BOsshOgg going forward with the Hog Rider straight away, so that's quite an aggressive move. Crucial's countered with the Wizard, and he's put his own Hog Rider in. This Wizard is going to mess up these Barbarians pretty well, although they'll probably get through close enough to take down the Wizard. So, but still quite a good value Wizard. I'm not sure that I would have played that Hog Rider straight away like that if I was Crucial, because he didn't really have any advantage from that initial attack. Just a very small advantage. That P.E.K.K.A is going through there, messing stuff up. Bomber from BOsshOgg coming through. This is going to put some more points on the board, but here comes the Bomb Tower. Now, Bomb Tower is a good defensive unit. It's probably the best defensive unit, except for, of course, it does not attack flying units. So that's the weakness there. That's why I personally prefer the Tesla. Here comes the Hog Rider. That's going to have to take out this bomb tower first, but that's fine. That'll be like a single hit. Here comes those musketeers, and they're tearing shreds through the enemy. Now let's see, because what's BOsshOgg going to counter with? It's hard to say. It's hard to say that there's anything that he can put down now that won't just... And there's that poison I was talking about earlier that just clears the path, but BOsshOgg placing his barbarians in just beyond that poison, so quite a good counter actually. Luckily Crucial's been able to build up some elixir, but whoa, and there goes the tower. One tower down. BOsshOgg winning 1-0, but with still a minute left to go, and here comes Crucial's counter attack. That Hog Rider's doing a pretty good attack there, but not enough. Still a little bit left on that tower, and the mini P.E.K.K.A and Swordsman coming through. BOsshOgg, Crucial is going to try again. He's sent his Hog Rider in, but that's going to get annihilated by these barbarians. This poison here is going to take down this tower for sure, because the poison actually damages towers. So okay, now it's going to be a battle for that second tower. I think this is going to go to overtime. Although this is a pretty strong attack here, I'm not sure what Crucial can do. I think this tower is going to go down, and that could be the game. Well, there's still 24 seconds left, so anything could happen. BOsshOgg sending out a Hog Rider. The Hog Rider just as a kind of a distraction there, really. But P.E.K.K.A coming down. 12 seconds left. I don't know if that P.E.K.K.A is going to get there in time. The poison going out. Lots of distractions, and that's how it looks like BOsshOgg's going to win this game, just by keeping Crucial forces away from his tower. BOsshOgg wins 2-1. But really great to see those 3 musketeers coming out. Quite effective actually in this match. I think that's probably my favourite card, the 3 musketeers at the moment, because I like the idea of it, even if it's probably not quite competitive yet, but it can do a lot of damage if it works for you. You're watching Royale TV with Cheese. This is Awesome Elmo, and we're watching high ranked matches in Clash Royale. So, next match up is Limplicity from Clan 420, ranked 42, versus Dave from HK Esports, ranked 99. Limplicity is going with the 2 Prince strategy. He's going with a lot of ranged attackers here, and the Zap stuns the enemy for 1 second, which can work really well. If the enemy has a big unit, you can stun it for a second in combination with, say, this Prince, and get quite a lot of damage done in that time. So it looks like to me that Limplicity is going to primarily be trying to attack with his 2 Princes, and the Barbarians added in for just a bit of extra distraction, but mostly going for more of a defensive. I imagine that these 3 units here will be used largely in defense, although the Princess sometimes can get a bit of extra damage on the tower. He's also using the elixir, so he'll probably be going for a late game push. Dave, on the other hand, is going with the Hog Rider freeze combo. He's also using a giant here, which I imagine he's probably using for defensive reasons. So how you play the giant defensively is if your enemy is making a snowball against your tower, you drop the giant on your side of the river, and all of the enemies will then target the giant and run back the other way while they're getting shot down by your turrets. It could also be used offensively, but I suspect that he's put that here as a defensive unit. Although another great combo is the giant and wizard combo, which really, which especially early game can be quite strong if that comes out in his first hand. No, I don't think there's really any one clear winner here in strategic terms. If I'm going to have to pick one at random, I'm going to pick Limplicity, just because that 2 Prince combo is pretty popular, pretty strong at the moment. Let's see how this match goes. Dave crying already. That's not a great way to start the match. So, looks like Limplicity is going to start with a Musketeer, and Dave bringing out a Hog Rider. That's being countered by the Barbarians, but the Freeze coming out straight away, so quite a good start. It's going to get quite a lot of damage before those Spear Goblins take out the Hog Rider. Here comes the Wizard. The Wizard want to take out fairly whack of damage against these guys because there's quite a strong force coming in, but clearing out those Goblins with the one hit, so quite a good counter. And here comes the Wizard. It's going to maybe get 200 more damage here. The turret will take him down though. Limplicity, he's thinking about banking some elixir so he can build up for later in the game. He's got the 2 princes ready to go, playing that elixir collector defensively so that Dave will need to target that elixir defensive. He wants to hit this right tower here. And here comes the Hog Rider. He's going to try and take out that elixir collector. This can be a kind of a bit of a gambit as well, because it's quite attractive to your opponent to want to just try and get rid of that elixir, because it feels like a double win almost. So here comes Prince on the right side. That looks like the tower is probably going to go down. I can't see any way of stopping that. The giant coming here but being countered by this Musketeer. Barbarians are going to take out that Musketeer. So this is all going Limplicity's way at the moment. Here comes the Wizard. Wizard's going to counter those Barbarians. The Zap though helping to weaken him. The Wizard is not really going to do anything. He's going to get shot down before he gets down to this tower. Here comes the Hog Rider though, so that could do a little bit of damage. Limplicity, not much elixir, so this Hog Rider taking down this elixir collector is actually really quite useful. That's going to put him in a good advantage. Whoa, 17 health left on that tower. Not much there. Just a hair breadth of a second difference, and this could have been a completely different match. Prince going out, the Princess doing a bit damage on against that tower, doing pretty well. There goes the Zap to finish off that tower, and now it's one tower 0, so it could be anyone's game. Hog Rider going in from Dave. I'm not sure what Limplicity is going to do to stop this Death Ball here. He doesn't really have a good Death Ball counter, so there goes the Freeze. Freeze is going to just give them a little bit more of an edge, but don't think they're going to have quite enough to take down Limplicity's King Tower. So that Princess there is actually doing a pretty good job from across the other side. This is actually a pretty common strategy where you put that Princess over this side when they're coming down this side here. So there's the 2 princes, but not played in a particularly advantageous way. Those goblins taking out the Princess. Two Musketeers here, so he's kind of snuck those in, but the Freeze is going to take care of those. Prince coming out. Prince is going to bounce off those Barbarians. The Princess though is going to help out a little there. Prince surviving mostly unscathed, so this is good. This tower could go down. Prince can do a lot of damage really quickly. So here we go, and Limplicity wins 2-1. Pretty good match. These have been all really good matches tonight. They've been very close. It's interesting to see as the meta is starting to settle, that people are finding their place and yeah, we've seen some really exciting matches. Next matchup we have GaiboOO, or GaiboOO, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, versus this person here, which I'm going to call Red because I can't speak that language, I apologize. So we have GaiboOO from Gladiators, ranked 76, and we have Red from Warriors, ranked 29. And Red tonight is going with the Golem strategy, which is to combine the Golem with the Elixir and try and get those two Golems in the last minute, which is pretty much the idea of this strategy, just to provide so much pressure that the enemy can't stop you. Now, complementing this, Red is using a Tesla tower. Not as popular as it once was, but still quite good. Can be used to as a distraction defensively. Generally nowadays you'll play the Tesla in response to a specific threat. Used to be you just place down a Tesla anywhere and win the game, which luckily Supercell have adjusted the balance on that. So also going with some goblins here and a princess, dragon and a dark knight. So fairly balanced deck. The goblins are probably going to be used to create some confusion. When this golem goes out, the goblins can come along, and while everything's attacking the golem, those goblins can do their stuff. On the other side, we have the two prince strategy again from GaiboOO. He's also using an elixir pump to keep his elixir coming. Elixir pumps seem to be pretty strong, pretty popular at the moment. They used to mostly be used with Golem, but now they seem to be put in a lot more decks. Like people are using a lot more high cost cards. So this is pretty standard two prince strategy from GaiboOO. Now, I've got a feeling, just based on this, Tesla is going to be the difference here. It's going to make it really hard for those princes to get to Red's tower. Prince is an okay counter to Golem, but otherwise not really any great counters to that. So I would give Red the slight advantage in this match. Okay, both players letting their elixir build up. Red getting ready to put down a Tesla. There we go. GaiboOO trying to think of how to respond. Brings out the princess. Not great. No really much use against the Tesla because she stands too far away from her target to shoot it. The dragon, which is the perfect counter to princess. That's going to mess that up. Minion's going to come in here possibly, or placing the barbarians aggressively, but just missing the mark there slightly, and the Dark Prince is able to get all four of those barbarians with one single hit. So GaiboOO is banking some elixir. Not much happening at the moment. Both players just letting that elixir build up. Both probably afraid to get too aggressive. The golem coming out, so right at the back here, so that Red has a chance to build up his elixir before golem reaches the other side. But GaiboOO taking advantage of this and just going with his two prince combo, destroying anything in their path and just getting that tower so quickly. This is going to follow through. That Tesla is going to take care of them. The golem here getting through, but he's probably not going to get too much damage. This Dark Knight though coming in, and again the barbarians not being misplaced and being destroyed by that Dark Knight. Still countering the knight, so the tower surviving. This golem though putting a lot of pressure on this tower, and this dragon here without much of a counter. That means that tower is going to go down, and now we have a match. We've got 1 versus 1. So it could be anyone's match, and all elixir gone. Red putting down another elixir. GaiboOO considering another elixir. Yes, he does. There's a minute to go. That means they both need to really think about having that edge. So there goes the golem. There could be a second golem coming if Red can cycle through his units. Here comes the Dark Knight and the Prince. barbarians taking out that Tesla, so that's countering that threat there. Not much that excuse me, red can do here, but he is countering this threat. He's decided to go fully defensive, and that golem on the other hand is going through almost uncontested. He's going to make it to that tower, and now there's units coming in on all sides from red. The golems, of course, taking a bit of damage off those barbarians when he explodes, and we should have possibly another golem coming in here to finish this off. Maybe he won't need it though. This dragon Dark Knight combo here, 2 dragons and all these spear goblins, that's going to take down that tower, and that's game. It means red wins versus GaiboOO 2-1. Okay, I'm going to take a short break now, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. You're watching Royale TV with Cheese with Awesome Elmo.